Excuse me, son.
Door's closed, mister.
I'm not here for cigarettes or bubblegum, my boy. Can you tell me the name of the person who broke the record on that game over there? Where I might find him?
Alex Rogan. You're looking at it.
Alex Rogan.
Who are you?
Centauri is the name. I invented Starfighter, which is why I'm here. About a matter of utmost importance. Step into my office.
That's it. Come on now. Nothing to be afraid of.
Oh, yes. Say hello to my assistant, Beta.
Hi.
I must congratulate you on your virtuoso performance, my boy. Centauri is impressed. I've seen him come and I've seen him go, but you're the best, my boy. Dazzling. Light years ahead of the competition, which is why Centauri is here. He's got a little proposition for you. Interested?
I guess.
Thanks.
What are you doing?
Listen, Centauri wants to keep it for a surprise. Trust me. Oh, you're gonna love it. Love it. The amusing thing about this, it's all a big mistake. That particular Starfighter game was supposed to be delivered to Vegas, not some flea-specked trailer park in the middle of tumbleweeds and tarantulas. So it must be fate, destiny, blind chance, luck even that brings us together. And as the poet said, the rest is history.
Where are you going? Where are you taking me?
I told you, I want to save it for a surprise. It's the last page of a mystery first.
So I'll switch a box.
Who sneaks downstairs to peek.
That's just doing all the outputs. So it goes up into whether auxiliary number 2. So it's on the CP200 at the moment. Switch over the CP750. I'll get a second one of these boxes which is coming, so I can do a specific output of the surrounds, so I can do a merging of the outputs of the height 1, height 2, height 3, which will go into the output, the input obviously will go into the input. Alright, so let me say that again. So the output of the heights 1, 2 and 3 will go out into a second one of these, into the input. The output lead will connect directly going to the Dolby SA10s in the kitchen, which will obviously sometimes do the overhead surrounds with the dog channels, woof woof woof. And what I'll do is I will configure the regular surround output, which will go from the system output from the SDDS. It won't, go totally, well, I'll be wiring it specially, so basically piggybacking the wires on top of the Phoenix connector, the DB25 Phoenix connector, and piggyback some additional wires on top. I only have to screw them on, and then those will go into a DB25 male connector. So they're all male connectors that connect in, because it's female connectors on the back. The males will connect in, and then I should theoretically be able to switch the sound and then transport the regular surround to the overhead surrounds to duplicate, say, like what the Odeon Gaumont Screen 1 used to do with its overhead surround, or maybe Gaumont Screen number 2 downstairs where it had left half, right half surround. Also, I'll be able to, say, like, duplicate maybe UCI or Tower Park overhead surround configuration, because I can fully just about remember how the overheads sounded, even though it's Dolby Stereo 424 Matrix that was playing there, and then some DTS played there. I was with UCI for a year, so by the time DTS came in, I'd left then. But when, occasionally a movie was showing Dolby SR, I would go down there and watch a movie in SR, because all the other local cinemas weren't having Dolby SR until they got SR cards. So I'd go down there for a sort of like high quality sound analog. And Dolby SR is by far the best analog sound you could possibly hear. So, and then I heard Jurassic Park down there. So yeah, overhead surround with split stereo surround or stereo surround overhead. And a few other DTS ones, typically mostly in screens 5 or 6. I did hear a little bit of Titanic, I think. I kind of slipped into one auditorium, or I think I did go into it. But oddly, I don't know what it was, but the the sound of the level of the surrounds was just playing like extremely too damn loud. Usually there's I think if that was still connected in, or if it would have been redone, there would have been an additional fader control for the surrounds, which would be adjustable by about, I think, plus or minus 3 dB, so it'd be a 0 setting, a minus 3 and then a plus 3, so variable. Whether that was still in use at the time, I don't know. It was a Sound Associates sort of thing, which was connected with, I think, the booth monitor. But I kind of like walked out the auditorium, because the overhead, all the surrounds, they were just playing extremely way too loud. Anyway, I can remember things and such, but yeah, so this would be a bit of a complicated thing. I thought I could use another one, this really, but this is only it's only stereo here, line input 1 and 2, that's only stereo, and the output's really, it's useful for other things, but not really useful for the inputs, because I can only have there's not enough inputs really. There was another Behringer I was looking at, that was a one U frame, but that didn't seem like it was going to work. They just eventually, it was a kind of mixer splitter sort of thing, and looks at the input and the outputs, the front of it and the outputs, and thinking, nah, that's not going to work either. And then it just dawned on me, get another one of these. That way, then I can do it. So it's, got to change things manually, and I don't mind. But that's the only way I could do it. That's also cheap. And I still have control. I could still probably rig this in. But probably rig it in maybe for for the regular sort of kind of like overhead surround sort of thing. And also I've got to also have the box, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 inputs and a single output. Also probably doing some matrix sort of thing. So whether if I want to have the side surrounds playing and do my own cocktail of my own version of overhead surround, then I would do that, because as the Dolby DSU is, or DDS NeuroX, the DDS NeuroX thing is kind of better than the Dolby DSU in regards to how it uses sound panning and stereo spread, whereas the Dolby one, DSU, is frankly, it's a load of rubbish. And I would configure the maybe the fronts to only play part of the sound, because I know what it's doing, the matrixing and that, and where that's going and such. And then I would use an additional like a matrix, so I could just switch it on and then extract any center phantom away from the side surrounds, and then put that up onto the overhead. And hopefully theoretical sound should, when it moves from there and in pans, it should blend maybe into the other channels, giving a sort of kind of front to back sort of motion, theoretically.